Hello everybody out there in YouTube land. We are trying something new. We're doing a 20 questions of a would you rather quiz. So, we'll take it away with question 1.
Would you rather earn a huge sum of money doing work you hate or a small sum of money doing work you love?
Do you want to go first?
No, you can.
Well, for me, I've always preferred doing a job that I love for a lower amount of money. I've done both. And I found doing a job where you don't enjoy it, doesn't matter how much you earn if you don't enjoy it. So, for me, it's the second one.
I'd agree.
So
I'd rather do something I love than something I hate. Because then you wouldn't want to get up for work in the morning.
Yeah.
Question 2. Would you rather have no Facebook for a year or read no books for a year?
Well, for me, I mean, don't use Facebook that much anymore. I only really post pictures of the dogs. I'd probably have rather controversial, probably, but no Facebook for a year.
I think I would be the same, only because I don't use Facebook like I used to. I mean, if you would have asked me this question maybe 5 years ago, I would have gone, But I like also reading books, because books, you get different types of books. You get fictional books, non-fictional books. You get informational books. You get colouring books. So, and I do like colouring books, so I'd say no Facebook.
Yeah, no
as
Facebook.
Well. Would you rather always be late or always be early?
For me, be early. Never like being late. I've always been trying to be early. Doesn't happen usually, but I'd rather be early somewhere than late.
Yeah, I've always tried to be early to everything. Hospital appointments, to work, to meet people. Would you rather spend £5,000 or save £5,000?
Me, probably save 5,000, because I don't think I could just sit there and sort of think off the top of my head, what can I spend 5,000 on? I've always been one to try and save for a rainy day, and there's nothing I can really think off the top of my head I would spend. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's quite a few things, but top of my head, I'd have to say save.
I think out of principle, I would save. But if I had £5,000 extra, I think I could well and truly spend it in maybe a week. But I've always been a saver anyway, so. Would you rather be able to sing or be able to draw?
For me, be able to draw. I've always been quite envious of people who can draw well. Singing, no, I'm good with playing the instruments rather than singing.
See, this one's quite hard for me because I can do both. I wouldn't say I'm a fantastic singer, but I also wouldn't say that I'm a fantastic drawer. But I can do both, because I mean I did art in school and I do sing at jam nights. I probably want a better singing voice though.
What, over the drawing?
Yeah, only because I really enjoy singing and I don't feel I'm that great, to be honest. Yeah, I'd like to be able to sing better.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, that one. For me, it's easy, but for you, I can guess not.
Would you rather be blind or be deaf?
I think I would personally cope better if I was deaf, or I were deaf, I should say. I think it seems harder if you was deaf than blind, to be honest. That's one of those questions though where it's like left hand fighting the right, because there's no correct answer, but I just think I would rather be deaf than blind.
I think having eye issues and having been partially blind at one point which if you want a story time on that, I can give it to you. Just putting it out there. Being blind is a horrible, horrible thing. But also, where I'm from such a musical family, being deaf would mean that I wouldn't be able to enjoy music. And music is a very big part of my life and always has been. So, I don't know, it's nice to see things, but it depends on also the timing in life. If you're born blind, you don't miss seeing stuff because you've never seen stuff. If you're born deaf, you don't miss hearing things because you've never heard anything.
Yeah.
But if you've gone on with your life and then halfway through it, it's sort of you go blind or you go deaf, then it's sort of... Because the thing is that, I don't know, it's hard.
I've always imagined it would be easier at least to get around if you're blind rather than deaf. And you could maybe live a...
Well, yes and no, but the only thing is if you're blind, then you'd need someone to help you get around.
Yeah.
Whether it be a dog or whether it be another person.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're deaf, nobody can help you with that.
No.
And also you don't get to hear your loved ones' voices and stuff like that. So
no. It's hard, that one.
I think
that's the tricky one.
I think weighing it out, I'd rather be blind. Purely because you can get help for that, whether it be a guide dog or having another person around to help you about. Whereas being blind, nobody can help you with that.
Yeah.
And I'd rather hear people than see them. Because I'm not a vain person. I'm not vain, and I also don't give a crap about how you look. Kind of thing. Would you rather be a skilled writer or be a skilled speaker?
For me, I think writer. Not so much the confidence factor. I just think if you was a skilled writer, you might hit a bigger audience worldwide, whereas sometimes, possibly, not always, a skilled speaker might be a one hit. Maybe do it in front of a group of people, and that's it. It depends though. Again, it's just a tricky one, that one, because
I think I'd rather be a skilled speaker purely because I like to speak to people.
Yeah, see, that's what I was just about to say. I do actually enjoy doing that.
I'm a social person, and I like speaking to people, and I like helping people out. And if doing a big speech sort of movement would be of a good interest to people, then I'd do it. Would you rather visit Europe or Southeast Asia?
I'm
going to go straight in there with Southeast Asia.
Yeah, same here, I think. There are a couple of places in Europe I would like to see, but...
I mean, the only places in Europe that I'd want to go to is maybe Italy.
Yeah.
Because I don't care much for France.
No.
I don't care much for Spain, to be honest. I've been to Germany. The other countries don't really interest me. I'd like to go to Italy. That's the only place I'd really like to go to in Europe. But Asia, I'd like to go all over Asia.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind with Asia.
Money no limits. I would like to travel around Asia for a couple of months. Okay, would you rather be super intelligent or gifted in sports?
Me, super intelligent. Easy.
I don't care much for sports.
No.
Would you rather celebrate a significant birthday with a party or with your spouse?
I mean, again...
Would you rather celebrate a significant birthday with a party or with your spouse?
I mean...
I think we was having this conversation the other day.
Yeah, we were,
where
enough.
I said, normal every year-to-year birthdays I don't care about.
Yeah.
Because I've got a pretty crap birthday. Just putting it out there. So for me, if it was a year-to-year birthday, I don't really care about it. I could spend it with just you. Whereas, if it's a special birthday like what I had this year,
yeah,
I would have rather have had a party and been able to spend it with all my friends and all of my family.
Yeah.
Because as I said to you, on important birthdays, so milestones,
Yeah.
I like to create memories.
Yeah.
And I have done up until this year. This year,
Well,
granted, it was out of my control.
Yeah.
Because of
The global.
lovely Corona.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to do anything for my birthday. So I wasn't able to create those memories that I like to create. Which kind of bummed me out a little bit. Because me personally, as I said, significant birthdays, which to me are milestones. So like 16, 18, 21, 30, 40, 50, 60, all those birthdays I feel like should be have memories attached to them. Because they're important and they're special. You only celebrate your 21st once.
Yeah.
You only celebrate your 30th once. Granted, you only celebrate any birthday once, but the years in between aren't important. To me, anyway.
Yeah.
So if it was a significant birthday, I'd like to throw a party.
Yeah, same here. But any other year, probably the other answer, to be honest.
Yeah, I would happily just sit indoors and have a meal cooked for me and be happy with that. Right. Would you rather have burgers for dinner or fine cuisine for dinner? Burgers.
Burgers, to be honest.
Don't get me wrong, I like fine cuisine.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a foodie.
I'd probably
I love food, whether it's good food, bad food. I like food, but burgers, you can have all different burgers. You can have chicken burgers, beef burgers, turkey burgers. You could have a big burger, a small burger. Fine cuisine is very little as well, and it's not very filling.
Yeah, it could be very niche as well. You don't. Yeah. It depends what it is.
I don't think I could eat escargot, for instance.
Caviar,
Excuse me, I've got hiccups.
No.
Would you rather work from home or from the office?
Probably from home. I mean, you haven't got the commute. I'm not really one of them that's ever been that bothered about going into an office. I can quite happily concentrate from home and shut the world off from home. So probably from home for the convenience and factor and the cost factor.
I think for me personally, I like working from the office only because when you're at home, the old saying comes into play. You leave your work at the front door.
Well, yeah, you can't like that.
You leave your home life at the front door. Whereas if you're working from home, you don't get the luxury of doing that.
It could depend what job you do as well.
Also, that is one thing as well. But also, you don't have to worry about, like...
anything.
But when you go home, you can relax. Whereas if you're working from home, it can be hard to differentiate, and then you find it hard to relax because you're still in work mode, because you don't have that commute to either wind down from work or the commute to get yourself into work mode. You know what I mean? When I used to work in the offices, I used to put myself into work mode on the commute to work.
Yeah.
And I used to be in wind down mode going home from the office.
Yeah.
So I'd prefer to work in an office, to be completely fair with you. Would you rather have your phone or your car?
Car. Easy. It's just where it makes life so much easier to actually just get around, and especially when you're in an area where there's not very good public transport. No. Especially again at the minute, if you take other things into account, rather have a car easily. A lot of stuff you can do on your phone, you can do on your laptop at home if needed.
I mean, I don't drive, so I don't have a car, technically. But saying that, I think I'd rather have a car because you can go see family. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, you can call family, but I like to see people in person.
It's not the same.
And you can call someone, yeah, and you can be on the phone for them for like 2-3 hours, but being able to be in the physical with someone, I think, is way more important to me than being able to talk to them over the phone.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah, no, I agree with that one.
Would you rather have the most loyal dog in the world or friends?
Now, you know what? This is probably a controversial one. I'm probably going to say loyal dog. Because it's something always nice to come home to. Especially if you had a really bad day at work, say.
Yeah.
And you come home and you've always got this little thing that's always, or big thing, it's always happy to see you unconditionally. Friends are good as well, but they're not, no offence to any friends from anyone anywhere, but they're not always there. And there's just something about a dog that they unconditionally love you, it seems like, no matter what. And they just always come home and seem to brighten, or at least me anyway, they brighten my day up straight away.
Oh, hell no, I agree. I mean, the thing is with me, is I'd rather have a loyal dog as well. But that's purely because I've had people in my life previously that have said that they're like my friend, even go as far as to say they were my best friend.
Yeah.
And as soon as someone else or a boyfriend or someone's come along, they've dropped me like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah.
But yet, I have a dog at home. I walk in the door, they're happy to see me.
Yeah.
I go to the toilet. I come out of the toilet and they're happy to see me. And it's just one of those sort of like I know that sounds really stupid, but it's one of those things that makes you feel wanted and makes you feel loved.
I mean, I've had so many people that literally want to know you until they meet someone, or they want to know you as much when something's going wrong, or they need help with something.
Or they're your friend until you have kids, and then it's like, oh no, I can't hang out with you anymore, you've got kids.
But a dog don't care if you got kids. A dog don't care if you're happy that day or sad that day.
A dog doesn't care if you smell like shit.
Yeah.
And you look like a tramp.
Yeah.
They will still love you unconditionally. They will still be there for you to try and cheer you up when you're upset. How many times I've been upset and one of our two have walked over to me and just jumped up at me, and it's like,
yeah, they know.
You know, don't you, bud? And then they make me happy because it's like, oh.
But no, that's an easy one, really. For me.
But yeah, for me too. Would you rather learn from your mistakes or never make any mistakes?
I've always been learning from mistakes. I've always said you have to learn. You have to make mistakes in this life to.
You don't learn unless you make mistakes.
If you never made any mistakes, it's
then
a very boring world.
Well, that you wouldn't learn either.
Nah, there'd be no news for teachers.
Would you rather lose an arm or a leg?
Oh, that's a tricky one actually, because
if it was my left arm, I'd be happy to lose an arm.
I'd say actually, you know what, probably leg, because
if you could choose,
I'd say leg.
If you could choose what leg or what arm it was, if I could lose my left arm, I'd lose it.
I'd say probably left leg, the one that gives me all the trouble.
I don't really have a major use for it anyway. I mean, what do I do with my left hand?
It's more dexterity stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, but I write with my right hand. I write with my right hand. I do most things with my right hand. And you can get things these days where you don't need a left arm.
Yeah.
You know, like something simple like chopping up vegetables. You can get a mandolin.
What, a guitar?
No, it's try to wind up.
All small.
Or
orange.
you can get one of those like choppy things that you push the handle down and it chops like garlic and onion for you. So you don't need it.
No.
I mean, yeah, okay, you wouldn't be able to cut up a steak, but you know, if you're with someone,
they can help you.
Which I'm presuming you would be. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I know not everybody has a partner, but usually when you go out to dinner or whatever, you can have them cut your food up for you. Yeah.
I think the only reason I'd say leg is the problems I got with the left one.
Yeah, true.
So
but I'd rather be able to walk than...
Yeah.
have 2 arms, because I'd still need the 2 arms to be able to walk, if that makes sense.
See, for me,
Because I'd
yeah.
need the 2 arms
Yeah.
to use crutches. I mean, yeah, you have the route of going in a wheelchair, but who wants to be confined to a wheelchair?
See, yeah. No,
You know what I mean?
It's true, yeah.
So,
No,
for
that is
me,
true.
it would be my left arm. Would you rather be underweight or overweight?
See, this one, you could have health problems with both of them. I mean, again, it sounds strange, but I've been both ends of the spectrum. Never think of it looking at me now.
I haven't. I've only ever been one at the spectrum.
I do find that being overweight's harder to lose, whereas underweight's easier to gain. I think you get less stick if you're underweight in this world where everyone's like size 0 the better, even though it's...
Oh, that's true.
It could be even... I know being overweight's not good. But being underweight isn't good either.
No, not at all. I mean...
So for me, I'd actually say, in all honesty, I would rather probably be underweight. Even though I'm overweight now, and I'm not saying that because I'm overweight now, because I think overweight gives you more problems in terms of physical problems and as well as body issues. And also, if you're underweight, I feel that it can be resolved easier than you being overweight.
If you're underweight, you can always eat more.
Yeah, overweight's a lot to get off.
If you're overweight, you can eat less, yes. Don't get me wrong. We'll use Susans out there.
Yeah.
Who will go, well, you could eat less. Well, yeah, you can eat less, but sometimes you end up fat because of certain things. Like, I'm a diabetic, okay? I take insulin every day. And have to every day for life. This is my pancreas right here in this little pen. But that makes me put weight on. I don't eat much. I mean, yeah, we live together. You could be biased to these people. But honestly, even you can sit there and vouch for me that I don't eat that much.
No, we both don't.
But yeah, looking at me, you can tell I'm overweight because I have... granted the double chin and I'm a bit chunky in the face, etc. So you can tell I'm overweight. But that's not through overeating. That's through having to inject this crap into myself every day. But everybody on the streets will see me and go, oh, I bet you she eats loads of fast food. I bet you she eats stuff sitting. I really don't. I have 2 sandwiches of a lunchtime. And I'm full until dinner.
But, yeah.
And I eat lunch at 12, and my dinner doesn't get done until 6 o'clock.
Thing is, as well...
That's 6 hours that I'm full for.
Thing is, it's this as well. We both have one of these. There's one.
That's my one.
And there's the other one.
That's his one.
Woohoo.
Don't check too much, because you won't be taped.
Where we both have got disabilities, we do take a lot of pills each day. I mean, I take 24 in the morning.
I don't think I'm on quite as many as you, but then again, you're not on injections.
No, but even pills stuff, like especially painkillers and stuff like gabapentin, can make you put weight on.
Yes.
I put most of my weight on through a very dodgy hospital consultant. But that's the thing.
This is what makes me fat.
Well, again, you have to inject a lot of it. So you're not doing a normal amount.
I do this one once a day, this one 3 times a day.
Yeah, and a lot of it.
Yeah, these are not your average insulins.
No.
This one is 3 times potent than an average insulin.
The other one is as well, isn't it? Yeah.
No, that's 2 times potent.
2 times. So, and you inject a lot of it. And you're not doing a normal dose.
No.
So for me, underweight, I think it's easier to tell than overweight.
I'd rather be underweight purely because I, 1, wouldn't have to be on super strength insulin. And 2, I probably would be able to exercise, which means I wouldn't have to be on so many pills.
Yeah, it's a catch-22 that one.
So, but I've always been overweight my whole life, so I don't know anything different. The only time I was ever of a normal-ish weight was when I was diagnosed with diabetes, which was about 8, 9 years ago. But even then, I was still a size 16. and 88 kilograms. It is kilograms,
So,
isn't it?
yeah.
88 kilograms. So even in that regard, I was still classed as fat.
Mm.
So it's sort of like a, okay. Would you rather cheat in a test and get 100% or not cheat and get 30%?
30%. There's no point cheating on stuff like that. It's not. You're not. It's not. It's just to prove if you know what you don't know, and what's the point?
My thought process is always, if you fail an exam or anything like that, you can always do it again.
Yeah.
Whereas if you cheat and you pass, you then have to cheat your whole life.
Yeah.
Because you'll never be able to pass otherwise.
You can't be.
Whereas you can not cheat, get 30%, granted, but then you would be able to go on to do it again, just with a bit more studying, and maybe get 80%.
Or get 30 again, and then you realise it's not for you.
Yeah.
Like if you're a surgeon or a doctor and you cheated on everything, and then it comes to doing a heart bypass or something.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
Yeah. Problems.
You're in trouble. Would you rather forget the worst moment of your life or remember the best moment of your life?
Remember the best.
That's a bit of an obvious question.
Yeah, I mean,
nobody wants to
forget the best moment of your life.
Everybody would want to remember the best memory of their life. They wouldn't want a best moment of their life. You wouldn't want
that to go.
You'd want to forget the worst moment of your life. So that's a bit self-explanatory.
But the last one we've got.
Would you rather be 20 for the rest of your life or 40 for the rest of your life? Personally, 40. Purely because you've got that 40 years of experience.
I think 40 as well, because when you look back and...
Because when you're 20, let's be honest, most of the time you're still immature.
Yeah.
You're not a fully fledged adult.
You don't know what the world's really about.
No.
You know?
I mean, you're probably still in education.
Yeah. Or your first job.
Even if you're going to college, you're probably, you didn't go to uni. You're probably still in education at the age of 20. I mean, I finished my education when I was about 21, 22.
Yeah.
I think it was 21 actually. So, I was still in education. I hadn't had a job by then. I didn't know what love was. I didn't know how hard life can be, because I had it easy. I was living at home with my parents, had my parents paying for this, had my parents paying for that. I had, nothing to worry about. Granted, it sounds fantastic, but also I didn't have the life experiences that I've had now. I know what true love is now. I know that I would be able to cope on my own. I know that I am a strong individual because of what I have been through. Even in the past 5 years, which, would put me at 25 at the beginning. Which is still 5 years after what they're saying. So, I mean, granted, it's 15 years under the 40, but it's 5 years over the 20, and I've learnt a hell of a lot.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same.
Hell of a lot.
I'm pretty much the same. I don't think I'd want to be 20 forever, because it's, when I actually look back, it's very much sort of...
Don't get me wrong.
I don't know,
Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed my life at 20, and I had a good time.
Yeah.
But saying that, 10 years down the line, I have learnt so much more about myself and about other people and the world and everything that I would not want to lose at all.
No, a lot wiser person for it.
So I'd rather be 40 for the rest of my life.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Than be 20, purely because of the self experiences and the self exploration that you go through in life that you don't understand at that young of an age. I mean, I'm talking like I'm a grandparent right now, granted, but even in 10 years' time, I've learnt so much. Like, I've learnt that it doesn't matter if you do crap in school, you can still get somewhere in your life if you put effort in. It doesn't matter how healthy you are at that age, you can still develop major problems with your health. I mean, at 20, granted, I was slightly overweight, but I could walk for miles. I didn't have the diabetes problems and things like that at that time. But, you know, I used to walk for miles. I didn't eat particularly unhealthy. But look, still 10 years down the line, I've been on death's door 3 times. Not through choice. You know, and now I'm on a crap ton of medication and having to be put forward for this, that and the other surgeries. Even though at 20 I was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So, you know.
But I think I'd rather want to be an adult, be able to do proper adult things. I know 20 over here is classed as an adult, but when I look back at when I was 20, I don't think I'd want to do that for the rest of my life.
No, I don't think so.
I'll be honest, I'm not 40 yet, but
No.
I can imagine that it's, in the long run, more fun for a longer period than it would be for an immature 20-year-old that's...
I mean, to be granted, I won't be 40 for another 10 years, but I can guarantee you now, in those 10 years, I will learn a hell of a lot more about myself. I will learn a hell of a lot more about this world. And my knowledge will just keep growing and growing and growing. So, I would choose that over losing 10 years of my life.
Yeah. No, I think that's...
Because I'm at the midpoint at the moment between 20 and 30. I mean, 20 and 40 being 30. So I can say, like, would I rather carry on for another 10 years and find out what happens? Or would I rather take 10 years off of my life and go back to how it was 10 years ago?
Yeah.
And I can guarantee you now I would rather carry on and find out what happens.
Yeah.
Because the world is your oyster.
It is. It is. It definitely is.
The world is your oyster and a book is full of knowledge. So you can always find out things.
Yes. So, that was the 20 questions. And we will have to see if we can find another 20 questions.
And if we do, we will
be back soon.